Welcome on in to Sports Memo Today, your one-stop shop to get that actionable information you know and love in 30 minutes or less. We're always in a sprint here on Sports Memo Today. I'm your host, Dan Alexander. Happy to be with you because I always look forward to our Thursday episode when we get our Thursday stalwarts, Eric Pauly and Matt Josephs, coming back. We're going to talk some NFL, of course, previewing Wild Card Weekend. We have some props. We got some teasers from the guys here today. And then we also have the biggest matchup in college basketball, potentially history, that we'll be talking tonight here with Matt Josephs coming up. Is that tongue-in-cheek or is it serious? You'll have to stick around. Matt Josephs going to be batting cleanup for us as Eric Pauly being up first here. So without any further ado, you know we like getting right into it. We have some great deals to share with you throughout the show, but let's talk to the experts first. Eric Pauly, you can find him on sportsmemo.com, sm.buzz/EP. Man, I saw the post on Twitter over the weekend, and you want to be following my guy on Twitter, Slime Action. Another great NFL year for you, man. So let's keep it rolling as we head on into the playoffs. It's almost a formality asking how you're doing because I look at your NFL record. I know you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, another big week. Really just looking forward to, at this point, to cashing in those Sauce Gardner Defensive Rookie of the Year tickets. Gives me an excuse to go back to Vegas to the Westgate, and nothing better than literally landing in Las Vegas, going to the sports book, and getting paid for being there. So very much looking forward to that. Another great week and looking to close out the season and the playoffs strong.
Yeah, well, let me know when you're heading to the Westgate because I still have some WNBA totals tickets that I have to cash. I had to catch a flight, so I still have those sitting in my wallet. It's legal tender once those cash. So maybe we'll be making a trip up to see our guy Art the Caesar together there at the Westgate Superbook in Las Vegas. Man, let's get right into it. One of the things that helped you be profitable is just the way that you attack this player prop market. That's why I love when we have you and Matt on, both guys who attack these main sports but from some different angles. And both of your plays are going to do that today with a teaser coming up next. But let's first look at this San Francisco-Seattle game because since Brock Purdy's been the starting quarterback, there's been quite the emergence on a guy who is a quasi-wide receiver. He just puts his hand in the dirt every now and then with George Kittle. You have a prop bet for the folks. What are you eyeing for Mr. Kittle?
Yeah, I think you made a good point before we get into it. So when it comes to the postseason in the National Football League, not only are sides and totals as sharp as possible, but the bookmakers also take a look at the prop bets, and these are things that are much more beatable throughout the season, and they sharpen those up too. So just when you're looking to make your NFL bets, do a little bit more due diligence this time around, do a little bit more of a deeper dive, listen to some guys like Matt Joseph and others, because these markets are also getting more efficient throughout the course of the postseason. But this is a number that I don't think has really caught up yet, and it doesn't really make sense to me. I can see some of the reasons to stay away from this play, but George Kittle going over 40.5 receiving yards against the Seahawks on Saturday, I think is just too low of a number. Kittle absolutely smashed this number when they played the Seahawks the last time, and it's no secret that Seattle is a tight end, middle of the field funneling defense. They do their best to not get beat on the outside. They push everything toward the middle where most of the tight ends go, and they have one of the worst defenses against tight ends in all of football. Purdy and Kittle have also established a little bit of rapport in the last 3 games. Kittle saw 8 targets, then 6 targets, and he's only gone over this number 1 time. And we are expecting some rain actually in Santa Clara, California, which might limit Purdy's passing attempts. But Kittle can go over this on literally 1 reception and maybe 2. Again, the Seahawks funnel the receptions toward the middle of the field where Kittle will be running rampant. 45.5, simply just still too low for Kittle in this matchup.
Looking at the over 40.5 for George Kittle, and let's talk an NFL teaser. It's been a while since we dropped one of these for the folks, but again, one of the things that helped you on this profitable season is teasers, whether you're typical Wong advantage teasers or they're just spots that you think really favor going through some key numbers. So you got a 6-pointer for us. I won't steal any thunder. I want to know what teaser you're locking in here for free for the folks listening in on Sports Memo today.
Yeah, so we're going with a semi-advantage. I mean, it doesn't necessarily fit the criteria fully because the total in the first game is a little bit higher than you like. But I really like the Jacksonville Jaguars plus the 8.5, teased with the Cincinnati Bengals down to minus 2.5. I think this is a really great spot. Now, going back to the Jacksonville game to start now, we were talking before the show, you, Dan, and I, and we were discussing how maybe Jacksonville might be just a little happy to be here. You know, they beat up on the Chargers earlier in the season, but that was when the Chargers team was kind of depleted. And looking at both of these teams and how they've progressed throughout the season, I'm a little bit more impressed with the quality of victories that the Jaguars have compiled compared to the Chargers. The 10-win Chargers team only beat one singular playoff team this entire year, and that was the Miami Dolphins, who, for whatever reason, decided they wanted to throw the ball with Tua every single play in that game when they should have ran the ball, one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. I think that the Chargers are going to be able to, the Jaguars are going to be able to get pressure on Herbert and control the game on the ground. And while their pass defense is really suspect, so Herbert is anticipated to have a big day, I think the Jaguars can keep this within the touchdown plus extra point, the 8.5 points that you're getting in the teaser here. And then Bengals-Ravens is honestly pretty simple. We saw what they did to Anthony Brown. Yes, the Ravens beat the Bengals with Lamar earlier in the season, but Lamar will not be suiting up. Tyler Huntley is not that big of an upgrade where this spread, it was 11 points last week. Now it's 9.5 points. I don't know if it's even a 1.5 point swing. So getting the Cincinnati Bengals to just having to win this game, having that key number of 3 covered, also with the low total, does fit into the advantage teaser model as well. So I'm riding with the red hot Bengals, who I think won 8 games in a row, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are hot in their own right. And, I actually think they have the coaching matchup there too. So give me the 8.5 points with the home team and the better coach in that matchup as well.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, Joe Burrow, since he's been in the NFL as a starting quarterback and healthy, the most profitable starting quarterback against the spread. So that's at the closing line number. Now you're getting an extra 6 points of value. The Cincinnati team, who's looking like might be just making another trip if they can get through Buffalo or Kansas City. They just have to get through a divisional rival who is banged up. Teasing them down, pairing it with Jacksonville. Pauly, you have anything locked and loaded for clients either tonight or this weekend in NFL action already when they head on over to your page, sm.buzz/EP? What kind of stuff are they going to find?
As always, you're going to get in the all access. I have not uploaded the plays just this second because obviously, again, like I mentioned, this market is so efficient that you have to let the market mature a little bit. Yes, for example, you would have missed a great line on the Buffalo Bills game, but at the same time, I don't even know if I want to be laying that 9.5 in the first place, so I'm okay to miss out on that point line value. However, yes, you will be able to lock in all of my plays for entire wildcard weekend, one price, one place on SportsMemo. That'll be up by the end of the night 100%.
That's Eric Pauly, and as football comes rolling to a close, make sure you get ready to ride with him on the hardwood as well, running a special through January 22nd, and that's NBA, college basketball, or an NHL season pass. Usually going to cost you about $460. It's dropped all the way down to below $300. No coupon needed. That's at all of our handicappers pages at sportsmemo.com and at wagertalk.com. So you can check that out now. A guy you definitely want to be riding with on the hardwood is coming up next year. You can find him at sm.buzz/MJ. My fellow Birds fan is back in the saddle with us here on Sports Memo Today, Matt Josephs. And Matt, I will say, I'm happy that the Eagles got the 1 seed, and it could be because they get home field, they get a bye week. I'm really just happy we don't have to watch them for 1 week. A mental health break that I think you and I both need coming up this week. How's it been going, brother?
Yes. It's I'm excited to have the week off so that way I can just relax and watch everybody else beat each other up for a little bit.
Yeah, and hopefully allow Lane Johnson to get healthy, allow Jalen Hurts to get healthy. Yeah, that's definitely the hope for us there. Well, Matt, I alluded to it at the top. Maybe the biggest matchup I've ever heard in college basketball. The marquee that everybody's clamoring for. It's Houston Christian and Texas A&M Commerce. Yes, I'll even give the rotation numbers for you folks, since this is well down on the list. 306 553 306 554. There's your rotation numbers. Just walk up to the counter and tell them you want to bet the total, but what do we tell them? Which side we're going on? How are you betting this big time game, Matt?
Well, I like betting Southland action as much as I can. It's a conference that features a lot of fast-paced teams and also not a lot of defense. Now, I will say this. Earlier today when I locked this in, I got a bad number for my clients. But if you're watching this video now, you're going to get a much better number because I got it at 150.5. It's actually gone down, which is a little bit of a worry. But if you look at Houston Christian, the Huskies, they're 4-12 on the season. They are 363rd in total defense efficiency. They are just a fast-paced team that plays no defense whatsoever. And they've basically been able to drag everybody into their pace because if you're getting open shots, you're going to take them early. You look at Texas A&M Commerce, who is in their first season as a Division I opponent. They're a slower paced team. They play slightly below the average, but they've got a very efficient offense, at least from the 2-point variety. And they are a team that kind of gets dragged into playing some faster games from time to time, especially on the road. You look at some of their scores away from home. They are faster paced games. So I think Houston Christian can set the pace here. As I said, if you're one of my clients, unfortunately, you got a worse number, but I like this number, even though it's going down a little bit. I'll take the over here. It's down to 148, but Houston Christian, Texas A&M Commerce over 148 is what we're looking at here.
We're even seeing some 147.5s popping on that one. So Matt, not afraid to say, forget the marketplace. We're going over in a shootout between Houston Christian, Texas A&M Commerce. Let's swing it on over here to the NFL, Matt, because on Tuesday's show, we had Don Buster as a guest, and he was making a case for the over when the Giants and the Vikings face off this weekend. And you also are going to make a case for an over, but in true mid-major Matt Joseph's form, we're looking towards the kickers, kicker guru. If you check out our show each Friday morning on Wager Talk TV, what do you got in this one? Because when you talk kicker props, people better be listening.
So I like to look at various kicker props. They've put up a lot of them for this weekend. Of course, the GOAT is not up yet. No Justin Tucker. That's where I would have gone right away, but it has not come up yet. I'm assuming because of the Tyler Huntley news, and they're waiting to see who the quarterback is. There's a bet I like to make occasionally with the longest field goal made over on the yardage. And there's some things that you have to consider. First off, I want games that are either in Denver or I want them indoors. Well, there's a game indoors this weekend. And you look at the game between Minnesota and the Giants. And these two teams give up a lot of field goals. They are 30th and 31st in terms of field goals, both giving up 2.2 field goals per game. You saw the Giants, they just gave up 5 field goals in their last game. Minnesota is allowing 3 field goals per game at home. So we're going to get a lot of field goal opportunities. And I think with two guys that have really big legs, Gano with the Giants has 8 50-plus yard field goals. Joseph has 4 50-plus yard field goals. He won this game last time they met with a 61-yard field goal. So we're looking at the longest field goal over 46.5 yards in this game. You've got two teams that are going to look to score points. They may not take as many chances with defenses that aren't the strongest. So when they have an opportunity to kick some field goals, they're going to do so. So we're looking at longest field goal over 46.5 yards between the Vikings and the Giants.
You know, I'm locking it in as Matt Josephs is talking. That's usually when I'm producing behind the scenes for Prop It Up. It's just me all day long scrolling, trying to get these bets in. Because, Matt, you know, lines can move quickly, and especially juice can move quickly in these prop markets. So you want to try and get to those as quickly as possible. Speaking of getting as quickly as possible, why not head on over to sm.buzz/MJ. Lock in a season pass for him on the hardwood. College basketball in full swing. You have anything loaded for that or NFL action that you're eyeing already for this weekend?
We will start putting up the NFL props tomorrow after Prop It Up, which you can find here at 10 a.m. Me, Andy Lang, and Andrew McGinnis will break down every NFL game and give you our thoughts on the big wagers that we would like to play for this weekend. So my props will start coming up tomorrow. And, of course, there is college basketball. We're getting our feet back into college basketball. We concentrate so much into college football that we're now getting into college basketball and working our way through things. So you can find all that stuff at sportsmemo.com.
Nice and easy. And as he mentioned there, go and grab it. You know, until January 22nd, I mentioned that deal where you can take these all access for NHL, college basketball, NBA, all the way down to $2.99. The added bonus is the sooner that you buy, all access begins right away. So you're going to get more plays, more going on, heading on through the end of the year. That access gets you all the way through the championships in those respective leagues and sports. So college basketball, you buy, that comes out to just about $3.55 a day going through March Madness. NBA, NHL discounts, $60 a month. Great time to buy and get through those post-football blues. It's not done yet, folks, but the time when football won't be on the TV sets and on the odds board, it's right around the corner. there. Huge thanks to Matt Josephs. Huge thanks to Eric Pauly. Always love having him coming on here on our Thursday show, getting you ready to go for some NFL action. A little college basketball as well from our guy, Matt Josephs. If you enjoy the show, all we ask you to do outside of check out our great handicappers at sportsmemo.com and wagertalk.com, hit that like button. Throw us a subscribe so you never miss any of the great shows, and hop below in the comments. We'd love to hear what you're going to be betting on this weekend, whether you agree, whether you disagree. That does it for us, for Eric Pauly, for Matt Josephs, for Eric behind the scenes doing a terrific job as always. I'm Dan Alexander, and we'll see you next week right here, Tuesday, on Sports Memo Today.